Hello, what's up? So I'm very excited to be back here for another video, and this is kind of a part 2 to one of my videos called Writing a Song in 1 Hour Challenge. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I did, writing a song in 1 hour. After the video was recorded, I worked on it more, and I'd say maybe I put like an hour and a half more into writing the song, and I finished the song, got it to a place where I would actually like record this. And so I added a bridge as well and edited some lyrics and melodies from the rest of the song. And so I'm gonna kind of walk you through the process of what I did to bring that song from good to great, I guess you'd call it. So in the first draft, I already got like the main melodies and the story and the hook line and everything. I didn't change that because I liked all of that. I just went back and changed some stuff, and I'm just gonna walk you through what I did. So first of all, I actually changed this most recently, not at first. I changed the key of the song just 1/2 step up. So I was playing it with the capo on the 2nd fret before, and then I moved it up to the 3rd fret because I just felt like a lot of the song, at least for my voice, felt too low, and it was a little bit more underwhelming than necessary, because whenever the highest notes in a song that I wrote are not that high for me, like I can sing them easily, I just up the key. I make the key as high as possible where it still sounds good with me singing it, because I just feel like for a pop song and a high energy chorus and everything, it makes it even more catchy to be more of a higher key. Putting the capo on the 4th fret was a little too high for my voice, so I just put it on the 3rd fret. Anyways, and that actually made a pretty big difference. I really liked that already. The first part of the song, I didn't change much, so it starts, would it kill you? Actually, I'm gonna get my guitar. So in the other video, the song starts like this. Would it kill you to pick up your phone for once? I've been waiting and rolling my eyes at lunch. You don't walk through the door, you're late because maybe you got hit by a bus. So I already changed one of the melodies slightly. So on that 3rd line there, you won't walk through the door. Before, I kind of sang a higher notes. Like for some reason I was going up, like I've been waiting and rolling my eyes at lunch. You won't walk through the door, you're late because... And I just decided to keep it like more not so high, because I just felt like that wasn't really necessary, and I felt like it kind of was giving away too many high notes as well that are going to be introduced in the chorus. The verses I feel like fit really well when they are lower, more low key, so that when the chorus hits, it's really feels very big and exciting because it's something new. So if I was going, you don't walk through the door, that note is already in the chorus. Like, you don't walk through the door, you will lose your breath. Like that's the start of the chorus. And so already giving away those high notes in the verse was just too early for me, and I just like it better keeping it low key. You're telling the story, setting up the scene. I also changed that same melody in the 2nd half of the verse on hope your old behaviors will dissipate. Before I was like, hope your old behaviors will dissipate, and now I'm going, hope your old behaviors will dissipate. I just think it's just a lot better. But for that verse, I didn't change any lyrics because I really liked those lyrics. So for the pre-chorus, I also didn't change anything. I really liked how that sounded already. So it goes, I used to think it was ridiculous, made a big deal about the small things, but what I've come to the realization of is you can't survive that way. So I like that, so I kept that the same. Then for the chorus, I changed one lyric. So the chorus from the first draft goes like this. You would lose your breath trying to compliment me, fall right to the ground, you just can't stand me. Does it hurt that much to give a reply? I guess I was right, it would kill you to be a good guy. Yeah, so I only changed a little lyric in that chorus where it says, does it hurt that much to give a reply? I wasn't so sure about the give a reply. I just felt like it was not hitting right. I felt like maybe it was a little too specific also for the chorus. And it wasn't quite, I don't know, give a reply to what? Like it kind of made sense, but I don't know. I was just looking up different options, and I think I looked up in Rhyme Zone rhymes for reply. And I think life was one of those rhymes that I found. I also put the setting on near rhymes, not rhymes, because I just get a lot more options, and it doesn't have to be an exact rhyme in a song for it to fit. So reply, life, doesn't technically rhyme, but it still does because I is the same in the, anyways. So I found life and I just thought of be in my life. Does it hurt that much to be in my life? And I just thought that was better. It just hit better. It's more simple, but it's just gets the concept really right because that's really what it's about. It's like, it hurts that much to just be around me, to be in my life, you know? So I felt like that landed on the concept even better and really supported that chorus. So that line turned into, does it hurt that much to be in my life? I guess I was right. So the second verse, I'd say I actually changed the most. It's still pretty similar, but there's just a few things that I changed. The first draft of the second verse that I did in the last video went like this. When you're picking out flowers at the farmer's market, does the beautiful smell permeate your lungs? You're sure acting like all these simple gestures would blow you up. I still like the whole concept of that verse. I was still going off of the same thing. I wasn't changing the whole story that much. The first line I changed to when you're looking through flowers at the farmer's market. So before I said when you're picking out flowers at the farmer's market, just because I didn't like the way that picking out was sounded, like just flowing off the tongue in a song. It just kind of sounded a little weird in that sentence. When you're picking out flowers at the farm, like it was just, I don't know. So I just thought of a different way to say it. When you're looking through flowers, I just feel like it runs off the tongue better. So, but it pretty much means the same thing. And then the next line, so what it was before was, does the beautiful smell permeate your lungs? And first I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, beautiful smell? Like, that does make sense because smells can be beautiful, but I thought beautiful was more of a descriptive word for something you look at, not smell as much. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just felt like it didn't fit that well to describe a smell as beautiful, because in my mind, beautiful is like you're looking at something beautiful, not like you smell something. And so I just thought of wonderful instead, and I felt like that fit with a wonderful smell a little better than a beautiful smell. And also the rolling off the tongue thing, beautiful was a bit like too much tension in my mouth when I'm singing that. Does the beautiful smell, does the wonderful smell, like it just kind of flows better. And then I also changed the word permeate to suffocate. I just felt like that fit a lot better with the concept as well, because it's a lot more dramatic, like it's actually a harmful thing. Because at first when I thought of the word permeate, it does make sense because to permeate is like spreading through something, right? So it's spreading through the lung, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like hurting the person. It just means it's spreading through. But suffocate, that's definitely hurting the person. And so with the story of this guy being really terrible and he just gets physically hurt trying to like do anything nice. So does the wonderful smell suffocate your lungs? It just, it makes more sense. And then the next line was, you're sure acting like all these simple gestures would blow you up. And I just wasn't sure about the last line, would blow you up. I don't mind goofy lyrics. A lot of these lyrics are kind of goofy actually in this song, some of them. But it wasn't that cool to me would blow you up. And I also felt like it was a little bit like intense. It was a little violent. I mean, suffocate is also, but blow you up though, like if you imagine that, that's not a pretty picture. I just didn't like that. Anyways, so I changed that line to, you're sure acting like all these simple gestures would pull your plug instead of blow you up. And I just thought that was better. So the next part is the second pre-chorus. And as I said in the other video, I did want to change the lyrics in the second pre-chorus so that it wasn't the same as the first, just because in this style of song, it just felt like a story, and a story that's evolving that I want to add more information in the pre-chorus. But I didn't have time to think of that in the other video. So I changed the entire second pre-chorus to write a new one. This is how the second pre-chorus goes now. I used to think you were just careless, thought it should be easy to call, but really I should be embarrassed, 'cause you were never capable. So when I was writing that, I figured I wanted to start with some of the same lyrics, so it's kind of similar in the pre-chorus, not like completely a different like direction. So it still starts with I used to think. I was kind of freestyling that, and one of the first things I thought of was careless. I used to think you were just careless. And that got me to think, like, this adds on to the story well, because, you know, I used to think that this guy was just careless. He's lame and mean and doesn't know how to be a good boyfriend, I guess. Obviously, it is true if in real life this guy was complaining about picking out some flowers for you, then he is kind of careless. But in the concept of this song, I'm being kind of sarcastic the whole time. And so I'm like, I used to think you were just careless. Thought it should be easy to call. But really, I should be embarrassed because you were never capable. So, like, he's not just careless. Like, he literally has this problem where it would actually kill him to be a good guy. He's not just careless, he's just literally not capable of doing that. And also, I think I thought of the word capable, using that somewhere during the last video. I think I kind of wrote it down at the bottom of my songwriting page, just because I felt like that word could fit somewhere because it fits with the whole thing, right? Like, he's not capable of being a good guy. I think I even said that in the video when I was writing it. I didn't use that word yet, but I did have it in my notes. And so that's always like a good tip also, to just write down what you think of. If you think it's a good lyric or some kind of idea you can maybe grow later. Because I didn't know if I was going to be able to use that lyric, but it came in handy later. And I found a spot for it in the pre-chorus. And also I like to make sure my pre-choruses transition to the chorus well as far as the story and the lyrics. So it goes from, but really I should be embarrassed, 'cause you were never capable. You would lose your breath. So that just transitions well from the pre-chorus to the chorus, because I'm like explaining why he was never capable. So like, you were never capable because you would lose your breath trying to compliment me, fall right to the ground, right? Like, this is why you're not capable. Like, it's showing how incapable he is. So then I added a bridge, and this is one of my favorite parts to songs because they're just so fun, and you can introduce a new little melody and it's a little break and it adds a little more context. So I'll just sing you the whole bridge first. Apparently you have a rare disease, lethally allergic to decency. Gentleman and noble, I told you that's way too much for me. That's what you said, 'cause you would lose your breath. I was just thinking of all the lyrics of the song in general. I sang through the whole song. I recorded the whole song all the way through up to the second chorus. And I was listening back to it a few times just to really feel the story, understand the lyrics and everything, so I can kind of see where the story could go in the bridge. So I thought to even go more into depth on this whole metaphor thing going on in this song and the whole sarcasm thing. And I think the first phrase I thought about in this bridge was rare disease. Like, this guy has a rare disease where he's like incapable of being a good guy. Like, it's like hurts him physically to be nice. Like it says in the second verse, the wonderful smell of the flowers he's trying to pick out for me suffocates his lungs. Like, it's just really hurting him to be a good person. At least, you know, he acts that way. He acts like he's being tortured trying to do these good deeds. I thought of the phrase rare disease, right? So this guy has a rare disease. And I also was making it a little still sarcastic, a little playful. And so I thought of saying apparently, like something like that. Apparently you have a rare disease. Because it's like, if I just said you have a rare disease, it's more serious, like you actually do. But I'm like, oh, apparently you have a rare disease. And I'm like, okay, what happens when someone has a rare disease? Like, maybe they're allergic to something. So that word kind of popped in my mind, lethally allergic to decency. So it's really describing this guy's problem very well. Like, you have a rare disease, lethally allergic to decency. And then I thought of like, okay, what is decency? Kind of going off that word. So what would I want from this guy, right? Being a gentleman, being noble. So it's like gentleman and noble, I told you. So it's like, those are the things I'm telling him to be a gentleman, be noble. And then the next line was, it's way too much for me. And that would be, if I was writing out the lyrics, it's in quotation marks because that's what he's saying. It's way too much for me. That's what you said. So it's in quotation marks. It's too much for him. He can't handle it physically. That's what he said, 'cause you would lose your breath trying to compliment me. So it goes back into the to the chorus. And again, with the lyrics and the story, I feel like it connects well, which I really like. Because again, like, why is it too much for him? And then he goes right into the chorus explaining, because you would lose your breath trying to compliment me, fall right to the ground. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Also, before I started writing the lyrics or melodies or anything for the bridge, I was figuring out what chords I'm gonna play as well. And I just kind of went through the ones kind of in the key, and I don't really mind just using the same chords the whole song. Like, I do that a lot of the time, and so does like a lot of pop music. So I wanted to still start here on C add 9. But I figured to still change it up a little bit, I would just do two chords. So I'm just going from C add 9 to G and going back and forth. And so it's like, apparently you have a rare disease, lethally allergic to these. Oh, and then I changed that later, going here, because it fits with the melody. Lethally allergic to decency. But basically in the bridge, I'm not playing the E minor chord, so it is a little different. And I feel like choosing that chord pattern as well inspired the melodies of the vocals. Since these chords are just going back and forth, that's also what the melody in my singing is doing. It's going, apparently you have a rare disease, lethally allergic to decency, gentlemen. See how it's kind of, you can hear it like going off of these two chords, these two melodies. So that's pretty much all the revisions I made to this song. So I'm finally going to show you the final version. And honestly, chances are I might change a little thing here or there, but right now it feels pretty finished to me. This is called Good Guy. Would it kill you to pick up your phone for once? I've been waiting and rolling my eyes at lunch. You don't walk through the door, you're late because maybe you got hit by a bus. Did it kill you to show up for me today? Why's it like pulling teeth to get you to stay? Hope your old behaviors will dissipate. Am I just expecting too much? I used to think it was ridiculous, made a big deal about the small things, but what I've come to the realization of is you can't survive that way. You would lose your breath trying to compliment me, fall right to the ground, you just can't stand me. Does it hurt that much to be in my life? I guess I was right. It would kill you to be a good guy. It would kill you to be a good guy. When you're looking through flowers at the farmer's market, does the wonderful smell suffocate your lungs? You're sure acting like all these simple gestures would pull your plug. I used to think you were just careless, thought it should be easy to call, but really I should be embarrassed, 'cause you were never capable. You would lose your breath trying to compliment me, fall right to the ground, you just can't stand me. Does it hurt that much to be in my life? I guess I was right. It would kill you to be a good guy. It would kill you to be a good guy. Apparently you have a rare disease, lethally allergic to decency, gentleman and noble. I told ya it's way too much for me. That's what you said, 'cause you would lose your breath trying to compliment me, fall right to the ground, you just can't stand me. Does it hurt that much to be in my life? I guess I was right. It would kill you to be a good guy. It would kill you to be a good guy. I really love how this song turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.